Welcome back to the Teletran 1 files. We're continuing our Transformers Prime recap with the culmination of the Darkness Rising episodes. Darkness Rising, Part 5. The episode starts on Optimus Prime. He imagines in dread what will happen if Megatron uses the Dark Energon component to raise an army of dead Cybertronians to bring them to conquer Earth. Meanwhile, Jack arrives at the KO Burger and encounters RC again, who muses that her recent loss of Cliffjumper made it hard for her to say goodbye to him. Meanwhile, the Autobots have pinpointed Megatron's space bridge in Earth's orbit and must use the ground bridge to reach it. But Ratchet makes it obvious that the ground bridge has limited range. A bridge from Earth to Earth's orbit, the portal vortex would snap and scatter them across the stars. But Optimus said, we have to take that risk. Then RC and Jack arrive back just in time for RC to join the mission. And Optimus leads the team through the bridge. And Ratchet tells Optimus, "If you leave me stranded on Earth with these humans, I will never forgive you." And then he responds, "Until we meet again, old friend." Then, the ground bridge worked because they land on the space bridge terminal and look up to see the Decepticon warship moving into position. Megatron observes their presence with a classic "Optimus, you never disappoint." But Starscream says that Soundwave is locking on to Cybertron's coordinates due to the damage they took from the events on the previous episode. As the Autobots assume attack positions, RC notes that the Decepticons haven't done anything yet. Optimus scans the ship, and he sees that their interstellar navigation dish during Agent Fowler's rescue was damaged. Then Bulkhead points out, "That's my handiwork." And just to know, without that interstellar dish, they can't lock on the Cybertron. But at Mission Control, Rafta asks Ratchet, "Wouldn't the Decepticons know where their own homeworld is?" Then Ratchet responds, "Naturally. But Cybertron is many light years away. Even if they had an alternate way to pinpoint Cybertron, their aim must be astronomically precise. Since the target as far as Cybertron needs pinpoint accuracy, they need an alternate targeting system." Ratchet denies that there's any human technology capable of that power. Then Raph reasons that the Decepticons may be using the giant-sized array radio telescopes in Texas. But Fowler is still too out of it to alert the array staff to the danger following the events from the previous episode. Raph attempts to hack in, but the array's firewalls are too good. Jack thinks they should go on site, and they talk Optimus into letting him do it. Meanwhile, Megatron sends out the Decepticon forces to attack the Autobots. Then the battle commences. The kids ground bridge to the array and sneak in. In a small, unused room, Raph finds a computer that determines that the cons have already hacked in, but takes the opportunity to download their space bridge data onto his flash drive. Little do the kids know that Soundwave is in the very next room, plugged into the computer system as well. He aligns the array, which sets the space bridge ready to use, but Raph promptly realigns it. Responding to Starscream's request to know what's going on, Soundwave taps into the installation's security systems and locates the three kids. While the kids are discussing what the cons could do, Soundwave's tentacle slithers into the room behind them and attacks. As it goes after Raph, Miko grabs an axe and strikes at it. She hits the tentacle with a clang, but then the tentacle then strikes her backward before picking up the axe itself. Though the kids believe it's about to attack them with the axe, the tentacle withdraws. Then the kids run to the next room where they found Soundwave realign the dishes and use the axe to cut the hard line, making it possible to undo. Then Miko takes a cell phone photo of Soundwave. Before Soundwave leaves, he takes a photo of them. Starscream activates the space bridge and Megatron physically throws a huge chunk of Dark Energon through. The Dark Energon strikes Cybertron. The Dark Energon strikes Cybertron, swiftly covering the planet and turning millions of dead Transformers into millions of undead zombies, also what they call Terracons. Then Optimus realizes that the only course of action left to them is to destroy the bridge. Raph supplies the specs he downloaded earlier, and Ratchet sets up it's about working on a way to do so with Raph's help. As Optimus faces Megatron, Bulkhead, RC, and Bumblebee go to implement some sabotage. After a one-on-one, Megatron manages to defeat Prime, but as he raises his sword, Starscream alerts him to the actions of the other Autobots. Optimus takes advantage of the momentary distraction to block Megatron's killing blow and blasts him away. But the Decepticon leader transforms and flies off to find the other Autobots. Meanwhile, RCE, Bulkhead, and Bumblebee have succeeded in rigging the space bridge to blow when Megatron attacks the team and blasts RC off into space. The Autobots jump into the ground bridge, Bumblebee collecting RC on the way. Seeing the potential damage the exploding space bridge would cause, Starscream decides to pull the ship back, imploring Megatron to do the same. Overcome with regret over the loss of his army of Terracons, as they begin to come through, the space bridge explodes in Megatron's face. A short distance away in the ship, Starscream notes that Megatron's spark is now extinguished, and he's in command. The Autobots make it back to their base. Though RC's in bad shape, she makes it out alright. Optimus announces that not even Megatron could have survived Ground Zero. When Fowler wakes up out of his trance, he thanks the Autobots for saving him, then leaves. Then, Optimus gives a big speech and sends a signal into space to let the galaxy know that Earth is defended by the Autobots. So, in the whole Darkness Rising Part 1 to 5, it's kind of like the retelling of the first Transformers movie, if the writing was done right. I mean, I'm not saying Michael Bay did a good job, but I got a feeling that he could have done better. I mean, this show, Transformers Prime, the whole 5 episodes, I think I would choose Darkness Rising Part 5 over the first Transformers movie because, for one, the dialogue is perfect. The story is, like, it brings me to the edge of my seat. The Autobots, like, their rendition of the whole cast it's how it was supposed to be. It reminded me of Transformers Generation 1. I mean, I watched a few episodes, but like the year I was born, like the generation I was in, I got used, like Prime is used to me. Like it grows on me. But what else? Oh yeah. Sorry, my train of thought got derailed. But anyway, to think that a kid show, like it's for all, like for kids, teens, and adults, but to think that people still like this show over like a whole live action movie, I think they have some reevaluation to do, like for this next Transformers movie. Like it's called Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, and it's supposed to involve Predacons. And Transformers Prime did a whole season on that and a movie. But let's just hope that the Rise of the Beast lives to the same height as Prime.